Hi, my name is Zoe Carter and this is my demonstration speech. I'm going to be basically showing how to propagate a plant today. And this to me is one of the cheaper options if you don't ever want to go to the store and buy another plant, if you have plants in your home, and you want to just propagate off of that and make a new plant, you can. And I'm going to show you how. So the first thing is, what is propagation? Propagation is basically taking a cutting of a plant from the mother plant and placing it in water, soil, another medium, and it ends up growing roots in that, and then you end up having a whole nother plant. So I am going to show you. I have this right here, and as you can see, there's roots all in it. And I'll pull it out also. But this is the root system, and this is a cutting from another plant that I have, and it's growing in water. It did not have all these roots when it was put in here. I'll show another one just to show that it works on different plants too. As you can see, just a ton of roots. So, I am going to show what you will need for this. It's really simple. You should have all of these in your house. You shouldn't have to go out and buy anything, so it's really easy. You're gonna wanna have either plant shears, which is what I have, or scissors. It doesn't really matter as long as it's something that cuts and can cut like a clean cut. You're also gonna want some kind of glass jar of some sort. It doesn't even have to be glass, it can be plastic, as long as it's see-through, because that's how the roots kind of get the sunlight in, which promotes the root growth. And this is this right here. And I already put water in it, that way I wouldn't have to get up or anything for you. And the way it works is, if you look at this right here, this is actually going to be the plant we're going to propagate off of. You will see that it has these little nodes on it, and that is essentially where your roots will be coming from. And right now, obviously, they don't look like roots. That's just because they're not in soil or water. If I did take this, however, and put it back into the soil with the nodes facing into the soil, it would eventually grow and promote more growth for the plant itself. So I am going to get started and show you how this works. I actually did this last week on my rough draft, and I actually will show the results of that. It's only been a week, so there's not much progress, but there is a little bit, so I can kind of show what it's done so far. But this is the plant that we're going to be cutting off of today. I think I'm going to cut this piece, and the best way to go about it, because sometimes people cut too close to the node, and that could cause the plant just not to work. The root growth would fail. So let me show you. If you look right here, this is where we're going to cut at. You will see there is actually, I'm going to cut here. And you'll see this node here, and then you'll see another node right there. And we're going to cut kind of in between it. You are going to want to have about an inch of like behind that node in order to actually get it to work how it's supposed to. So I'm going to cut about right there. And people say to cut at an angle. I don't really know the deal with that, so I do it anyways. I think it's an old wives' tale, but it's fine. So another thing that people end up doing wrong is putting it in water right away. People are like, oh shoot, the plant needs water, it's cut off of its mother plant, we need to put it in water now. But this piece right here can actually rot because it's still wet from being on the plant, from where it was receiving water and nutrients. So we're going to leave it out and kind of let it callus for a second. And I'm just going to talk a little bit more about how plants work. So basically, your plants can get root rot, and I'll kind of talk about that because that's a big problem as far as propagating in water, which is basically where your roots end up rotting because of something in the water, whether it just be because you use tap water, or because you didn't let this callus over, or you didn't change out the water in enough time, because you do have to change out the water to keep it clean so that your plant has a nice environment to stay in. I don't have any plants right now that have much fruit rot, because I'm usually pretty good about cleaning it and cutting off the rot. And I will show you. I think there is a piece on this one that I can show you. And if you hear my cat in the background, she's in the room, but she likes to be heard. So I'll show you. This one's really long. I have had this for about a year now in water. And as you can see, it's still thriving. And if you see right here, this is black. And this has to be cut off. It's not terrible because it's not like it's on every single root. That's when you really have an issue, because your leaves will start to yellow and die off because it doesn't have a healthy root system anymore. And so basically I'll just go through, and I'm probably going to leave this out so I can cut more later, but just chop it off. It's not going to hurt your plant if you cut off that. It'll just help your plant. Your plant might go through a shock from the cut, but it'll come back 10 times better. So yeah. And I'm gonna show you, basically it's super simple. You literally just take it, you make sure that this node is in the water because that's how it's gonna receive the nutrients. And just like that, it's in the water. It's gonna take a couple weeks to actually start to root, especially depending on where you put it at. I like to put mine in indirect light so that my leaves don't burn or anything, and that my roots are still receiving light. And that just basically means putting it somewhere, like I have windows right here and I have the kitchen right here. So I'll put it over here. It receives just enough light. And I was gonna show, this is from last week when I did the rough draft and I cut pieces off of the same plant. And it's really hard to tell, but if you, let me see if I can get it. If you look closely, it's hard to tell. You'll see that there's like a little white piece sticking out right here. And that's just where the roots are starting to push out. And let me see if I can show you on this one. You can kind of see it on this one too. Just that little white speck, that is the root pushing out of that node, meaning that it's living in healthy water. And yeah. So plants, as you can tell, are one of my favorite things. It's a hobby. I just like taking care of them. And like I said, propagating is just like a cheaper thing. If you don't want to invest in plants and buy more, you can get one plant and make it into 100 plants if you want. So it's very simple, very cost effective. I love it. It makes your house look really cute. So I definitely recommend getting plants if you don't have any, and I definitely recommend trying this. It's super simple, as you saw, and just in a few weeks, that cutting that I just took off will root, and I'm gonna eventually give these cuttings to some of my friends because they've been wanting some. But yes, so very fun. Last thing I would like to say is just to restate what you need. It's super simple again. Something like this or scissors works. Get you a jar, plastic cup. You don't have to go out and buy anything. I also use old liquor bottles and stuff from my work. Super simple. Just put water in it. I use tap because I'm not gonna go out of my way to get like pure water, because tap works perfect for me anyways. But yeah, so that is my demonstration speech, and thank you so much.